everybody. Happy Thursday. Thankful Thursdays. Are you ready to do your gratitude practice? So for me, gratitude has become part of life for a very long time. So no matter what goes on in life, gratitude, mindfulness, these are something that I cannot live without. So when you start doing it, it may feel like a chore for a week, for 2 weeks, but when you keep doing it for a long time, it becomes an ingrained thing in your day-to-day thing. I cannot tell you. So I'm going to tell you a story. Very recently, it happened. I was on a hospital floor and I remember to do mindfulness practice in the middle of the night. So I'm going to tell you that first. But first, let's do our you know how it goes. If you have been here, I pick 3 different stones and each stone has something written on it. So when I pick it from in the middle, and so I also don't know what the words are going to be, and then I say gratitude about that word. And sometime if there is any deep story associated with that I can think of from my past, I just share. And this is something that I myself, I kind of like it because it's a surprising thing for me too, because gratitude practice, after some time, if you just do it in the same way, our brain, the way it works, it kind of doesn't work the best way, because it kind of feels like a chore. So that's why you have to be doing it many different ways. So I have done so many different ways, but this is a new thing this I randomly came up with, and I am really enjoying it. So I hope, and they sell this in Amazon. You guys can do other things. You can write words and put it in a bowl or something, and you can even play this as a family, and that could be something really, really interesting. So let's get started. So the first word, today's first word, I have no idea what the word is going to be. Okay, let's see. Nurture. So I'm so grateful. Each of these words, when we think of life, there are so many things we can nurture. If it's a house plant, to your kids, to your pets, anything in between. Nurturing is what makes something special. So I don't have a pet, but I have a daughter. If you have been coming to the channel, you know that I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I absolutely love her. She has her own attitude, as 9 years old, she thinks she's 19. But I do my best to nurture her growth, and the thing is, sometimes she wants to play on the weekend and I'm like so tired, but that is also part of nurturing, right? And I'll tell you, so on this couch this morning, when I was trying to sit down to have my coffee, oh my God, and she has a bunch of toys all around, and she had all this bunch of toys all around here. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, I can't keep telling her. Like, I would tell her, put the toys somewhere else, but she would put it on the couch right where you'll be sitting, and there's like no place to sit. So, and then, I told myself that I'm so grateful, right? Like, there are many people in the world who want kids and they can't have kids, or they have other challenging situation, right? And my daughter is 9, and 10 years from now, she'll leave the house, go to college, and all of that, right? So it's not going to be forever. So it's like all of these are part of nurturing. And when I remind myself of that, I think, I don't know, it kind of probably makes me hopefully a little bit of a better parent. I am not perfect at all, in no way, shape, or form when it comes to parenting. But I try to nurture her, and I'm so grateful that God gave me the heart to nurture her in any way that I can. So what are you grateful for with this word nurture? If you want to do this practice together, you can always write 3 sentences with 3 different words that I find here. Also, you can do it in your own way, just 3 simple gratitude. There are so many researchers out there that, starting from Joe Dispenza and many others who has done it before, that gratitude practicing really rewires our brain. So what happens is our brain keeps looking for the good things, because good and bad will always keep happening in life, but it is up to us on what we focus on, and whatever we focus on magnifies. So there will be bad and there'll be good every single day in human life. That is, that's normal. But when we do the gratitude practice, our focus, our brain is getting trained to focus on this versus that. Okay, so I'm going to, let me tell you the story. So what happened a few days ago, my daughter was in the hospital with some emergency going on, and we were waiting for the doctor for hours. And as we were waiting, we were so tired and exhausted on the hospital floor, because there was no place to kind of lay down or anything to rest. We were like super exhausted. And as we were waiting for the doctors, and somehow God, it has to be God, I remember to do mindfulness practice. So I was feeling the cold on the floor, hospital room floor. I was hearing the sound of the machines, not only inside that room, even outside. And I can still kind of remember that, because when we do mindfulness, our conscious and subconscious mind kind of connects together, and that becomes a memory. So, and this part, not as a bad way, but for me, it was very important to connect to that right there at that present moment, instead of worrying what the doctor is going to come and say. Thankfully, she is all good. Everything is all good. But that moment, so I was trying to connect, like anchor myself with those, or my senses, the smell and the sound and what I'm seeing. And you guys can see it, it's also on my blog. I talk about, you don't need to schedule an hour to do a meditation. What it is you just in the current moment. And I have the Monday mindfulness for that. I talk about wherever you are, just use your senses, smell what you smell, hear the sound. And when you try to hear the quietest sound, then you are actually hearing all the sounds that you normally would never pay attention to, right? Like right now when I'm talking, I'm hearing the sound of the air conditioning in the room, but I won't be hearing the sound that my own voice, that I won't be paying attention. So that's what I'm saying, that it becomes a practice. And after over a year of practice, I did not expect that thing. There is of course God's hand in that I was weirdly calm in that situation. I'm like, that's not me. So, so that my old version and this new version is like that. That's what I'm talking about. After a year of practice, it just changes. And when you think of year of practice, it does sound like a lot, but don't think of a year. Just start. And after 2 weeks, you'll feel a little bit of shift. After a month, when you start seeing there's a little bit of result, you would want to keep going. And that's how it just continues. And now, like for me, when I don't do the practice, and I actually don't even have to think about, like when I'm on a red light, or I'm waiting for the elevator to come down or to go up or something, like places where I'm waiting, or at the counter in a grocery store, it just automatically I start doing mindfulness. I'm trying to smell and see the yellow box or whatever, so that becomes a day-to-day thing. I never thought it will happen like that, but that's what happens, because your brain kind of starts working very differently. So, okay, so that was all about nurture. I just wanted to tell the story because it relates to very much for me, nurturing my daughter, her growth and growing up and all of that. Okay, so now second one, let's see what comes up. Family. They're kind of, sometimes it's like so related. So family, right? So family is, of course, family, your family is your family. And then I also think that, especially in my case, I think it just had to be a reality, because all my family is in India and I'm here in the United States. So last 20 years I have been here, and that's by choice. So, in life you have to, you can't have everything. So my family lives in a very small town in India. So the work I do, I was in technology after my engineering. So for my job, I had to be in big cities in India. So I couldn't have stayed where my family was. So 18 years of age, I went down to a different state to do my engineering, did that, and started working. And then I came here. Long story short, I have some very, like, a handful of friends who are like super close. They're like my family here, right? So sometimes family can become your friends. And what I also say is 8 billion people in this world, they all can be a family. The whole human society can be a one big happy family. It's the community, right? Imagine at some point, I don't know when, maybe 3-4 generations from now, or it could be before, if Stephen Hawking's prediction becomes true, where he said in the next 100 years we all are going to leave the earth. We'll be all dead probably, because if you are in a midlife. But anyway, the point is that 3-4 generations down the line, there could be more planets where other kind of living beings like human are there, and at that point we are all going to be united, right? 8 billion could become 16 billion by then, and then we are all going to be united as one family, and then we will see those other planets, those I don't know, not human, not people. I mean, different kinds of aliens. So they are different, right? Because think of it this way, like, if you are, say, you are from Virginia, I'm from Virginia, and I would go to, let's say, I don't know, Florida, Texas, somewhere, and we meet another Virginian, and we don't even know them or anything. We get excited, right? That's what I'm talking about. I have no relation, no connection or anything, but when we go further, we try to look for that similarity, and that similarity is nothing other than we live in the same state. So that's what I'm talking about. Imagine going to some XYZ planet and we're like, oh, you're from Earth, and the another person also gets excited because they're from Earth. So I'm a Star Trek fan. If you don't know, you probably realized already if you know about Star Trek. Anyway, I'm not diverting. Okay, so the third one. Relax. So relaxing, I'm so grateful that the work I do now that I am my own boss, and in some way I believe that I work for God. And it will sound weird to you if you're not into, I don't know, you don't have to be completely religious, but if you believe in something bigger than yourself, God, universe, higher power, whatever that resonates with you. Because what I believe is, based on our life's journey, we have different faith and belief. What is important is to believing in something that is bigger than ourselves. There is definitely something bigger than ourselves. And for me, I grew up Hindu all my life, and then I did follow Buddhism a little bit for 5-6 months, very deep, and then I turned to Christianity. So there are a lot of stories behind why my path went that way. There are a lot of life events. It's too much to cover on this video. Some days, like you guys know, I talk about I'm going to be writing books, book series. So the first one will be coming before end of this year, and then there'll be some subsequent ones. So in those I will cover the details how I went into Christianity, and how my journey could be a little bit, to some people it could be a little bit different than, I don't know, regular Christianity, if I were to say the word. I know some people, I might be making some people mad, but it's the mindfulness and Christianity. So now some would say the mindfulness is Buddhism. To me, it's mindfulness is like right now being mindful what I'm doing. I'm sitting on this couch and I feel the rings in my finger, my earrings, the hair on my head. This is just mindfulness, right? And God is something that the thing that we can't do ourselves. Like we need God's help, and God shows us miracles. And there is, if you think of it, every single day can be a miracle. Every little thing can be a miracle. As simple as I'm making this video, you guys are coming and watching this video, especially in the early days, I was just doing this as my own survival guide. I had no idea where this was going. So this is a miracle that, this is starting to become like a movement where so many people from so many places are coming and watching videos. And when I see on my website, I see people checking from like Japan and Greece, and I don't know anybody there, so I have no idea. Maybe somebody told somebody, or how that is spreading, and I'm like so thankful for that. So yeah, I'm so grateful. I know from the word relax, I went all of that way, because I'm grateful because when I need to relax, I can just relax. So even though I work 24/7, when you work for yourself, and that is the beauty of it, that if I need to, rest up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I can just do that. I can rest up. And then my daughter, when I had to take her to the doctor or things like that, it was a big deal when I was in the corporate, especially in a, high leadership positions. There were calendar was back to back, and I had to take those permission every single time. And there were sometimes there was support, and sometimes there wasn't any support, and then you'd feel bad about it, that how come the person cannot even understand my young kid is sick and all that. But now I don't have to deal with that. So there is that. So this relax, the word relax, kind of, even though it's not exactly the same word, it reminds me to be grateful for that God gave me this opportunity to work, the way all of this are coming into places, and I'm making a difference. And thank you for all of you guys for commenting and sharing how it is helping you. And I would highly encourage you also to share with others. Generally speaking, almost every divorced person knows another divorced person or more. So share it with them. If the channel resonates with them, great. But some tips if you learn, because my ultimate hope is that there's so many people, when they are going through so much pain and suffering. I met with somebody the other day, 14 years she has been divorced, and she would like to meet somebody, but attractive looking, nice person, but she is not prioritizing that. I don't know the details of her story yet, but that is what I'm talking about. Life can be so beautiful when you are with the right person. And it does happen that when you get married, it's the right person, you are right for them, and you might outgrow each other or something, and then you grow in two different directions and things don't work out. But especially if in your midlife, you still have a lot of life left in you. There is no point being alone, and and if this is your priority, there is nothing wrong with that. But the point is, when there is happiness, it's like how Dale Carnegie said in that book, How to Make Friends and Influence People. It's 100 years old book, but it still applies. Double the joy, double the joy, half the sorrow. Double the joy, half the sorrow. So what it means is, when you have a good person sharing everything with you, you can have the joy that you have, that multiplies when you share with the right person, because there is no jealousy, there is no nothing between two people who are together, who love each other's success and everything. So double the joy and half the sorrow. And when you have something sad going on, you have somebody to share with, and you don't have to go through it alone. So anyway, so that's why I share the things that you learn from somewhere else, you learn from here, share the tips with them. So my hope is the people I know, even people I don't know, I just hope that there is so much ripple effect that people I don't know, even they are also finding some benefit out of it. So finally, before I finish, nurture for me was nurturing my daughter. Grateful that I could do that. My family, of course, in India, Alice here, and a lot of my good friends. So grateful for that. And finally, relax. And I'm grateful that I can relax when I can with this work. I work very hard, sometime until midnight and whatnot, but at the same time, I can take the time off for Alice's need or whatever. So that I'm so grateful for. Finally, when I did that, so this came out about a month ago, Transformational Gratitude Journal, 90 days. And it takes you from anchoring all the way to becoming, awakening, becoming. There's 6 sections, each of them in like 15 days. I'm not showing you for you to buy it from Amazon, but it is more like what can happen with the year of practice. Because if you keep doing this, my friends, stay with me here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be on this channel every single day at 12 p.m. There is a short, and also I keep making this weeklies, right? So Monday, mindfulness, a quick one, gratitude, thankful Thursday, and then on Wednesday, I do Wisdom Wednesday, where I go deep related to the divorce recovery, healing, not only surface level but going very, very deep, so that you can learn and heal and all of that. And I would love to hear something that you guys have tried that worked, and if you comment, other people will benefit from that, because you never know. One comment could become somebody's survival guide. One comment can make somebody to feel better, so that they turn into this reinvention path instead of staying in this sad zone for years. You never know. Because for me, the turning point, I tell you, I did a lot of things last year, and I have been doing self-help for like a decade. And what happened is, for me, the interesting part was, even though I did so many things, the first turning point was, it was last April. I was listening to a 5 or 10 minutes meditation from the Insight Timer app, and I don't even remember the meditation exactly or who it was from, because I didn't realize the impact right then and there. But later, it was about coming out of shame and guilt. There are a lot of meditation, a lot of videos and whatnot, but you don't really exactly know what is going to be that first breakthrough for you. And for me, that was the first breakthrough, because I didn't know there was so much shame and guilt around that in me after I lost my job and marriage at the same time. Because I don't know if it was because, I grew up in a small town in India, and I know there are a lot of divorces in India now these days, but in the past, people, even if they're going through difficulty, people would just stay married. And divorce was a thing that, first thing, you don't talk about, and second, as if there's something wrong with you if you got divorced. So those are the type of feeling I think I had so much in my head that I didn't even know. So sometimes people don't even know what they're walking through, and some little thing can break that little shell. If you think of like an egg, right? That egg shell, you try a different thing and you just, I don't know, it's like a random metaphor just came to my head. Anyway, so something just right, just, breaks that shell. And then you start like coming out in a way, like the becoming happens, and it won't happen over time. You just have to keep going. But sometime, what is that first thing that will break the shell? You never know. And I think a lot of the folks who are going through this for years, and I really, really feel for it, because our time on this earth is limited. So there is no point holding ourselves back for years and years and years and stay stuck, right? So my whole point is that I hope I can encourage and inspire people to keep going, to reinvent their life. Divorce, job loss, or if you have one of those in midlife, you can reinvent your life. My career, I completely changed. I used to be in technology management, and now I'm like a totally different career. As you know, I'm doing with this business. It's very, very different. I have my website, publishing, meetup events, and coaching, and the YouTube. A lot of different things, and there is a lot more planned in time. All of this will come into reality. So that's what I keep telling you, my friends. Just keep going, comment here, stay engaged, so that I'll be more than happy to keep encouraging you along the way, so that you can get to where you want to go, and then you can live the life you are really meant to. Because this is a second chance, my friend. Like, I literally think that the things that I couldn't do, I wanted to do, and I live my life every single day right now the way I would have wanted to live, right? So this is a second chance for you to take this as a second chance and live the life that you always wanted to, right? So you may come up with a book, you may come up with a YouTube channel or a different business. I don't know what it is for you, because I also didn't know my path, where it will turn. When I started, now I have never been like, this joyful, this happy doing what I do, because this is literally how it connected my personal life with my passion, with my work. I mean, I can just keep going, but for the sake of the time, I'm going to stop here. But I really, really encourage. And again, I show you this so that you see something tangible, that this is the first journal, and I'll have many books coming out. Check out my website, midlifemindfulness.co, and take care. Bye.